So basically, usually if you see any standard textbook of the EBMS, this query processing and optimization will be coming like much later. So, but why I'm taking it now is like you can directly relate it with the whatever relational algebra that we saw right now. So that is why I am bringing that up pretty early. Usually, if you see any standard textbook, that will be like one of the advanced topics coming to the last. So that advanced part I am leaving out, and whatever things we can understand from whatever relational algebra we saw, that simple things only I will be considering, and I will be mostly covering this from a conceptual point of view, so that when you write your own queries, you can implement that, and so that the queries can be more efficient. So what I mean by more efficient, I will come to in more details. So first concept that we will see is equivalent queries. So as I told this in a previous session also, when we saw select and project, that we will be covering this today. So basically there is more than one way in which you can write any query. For example, if there is a like instructor table in which you have details like department, salary and all, and I want to find the details of instructors who are in the physics department and who are getting salary greater than 90,000. So one way we can implement that is we saw using AND operator with our select operation. I can give department name equal to physics, and this is basically AND, right? And salary greater than 90,000. Select all those entries from the table instructor. So that way I can write. Or in some other way I can actually write it is I can get all the like instructors who are getting a salary, select all the instructors with salary greater than 90,000 and give that as an input to my next relational operation, which is select all the entries with the department name is equal to physics. So even other way like sigma with the salary and inside sigma with the department name with instructor. So that's also possible. So like you can see there are like multiple ways in which I can implement with this particular operation that I want. But all these are like the execution. If you see itself, you can know that we are not doing one and the same thing in different cases, but they are equivalent in the sense that the final output that any of these gives on any database will be the same. So that is what we mean by equivalent queries. They are not identical. They are computationally different. They will take a different time. They will take different space in the memory, but the net output that we get from any database will be the same for these queries. Then those are called equivalent queries. And so what we try to achieve by query optimization or query processing in that we will try to find out of these different ways in which I can write a query for some particular problem. I will try to find out the queries which I can execute in the least possible time or using least possible memory. So the most space or time efficient query will be the one that will suppose this does not matter if my table has 10 entries or 100 entries. But if my table has tens of thousands of entries, then the performance or tuning optimizations, whatever time it takes to execute a query, what space it takes in the memory, all these matters. So that is where this need for this query optimization comes into picture. Then some more equivalent queries we can just see. So suppose again similar to this, I am doing a join operation. I want the more information about the courses taught by instructors in the physics department. So here I want to there is a instructor table and there is a teachers table which corresponds to whatever each instructor is teaching, whichever courses he is teaching. So I want to do a join of that based on instructor ID and the teacher ID, teacher's ID in this thing as the my join predicate. And then I want to select the department name is equal to physics. And another option is I can directly select the from the instructor table, select the people with who are in the physics department, and using that subset do a join with the teachers. So if you see both these, the second one will be more efficient because in the first thing you will be like doing the full join and then you are selecting maybe 100 entries out of that. You are doing a join of some 10,000 entries. You are selecting a 1000 entries out of that. Whereas in the second case, maybe you are actually selecting out those 10 or 100 entries first, and with that you are joining the second table. So that way the second thing will be like more easier to or more efficient to implement in a database system. But these two are, as I told in previous slide, these two are again equivalent in the sense that both of these will give me the same result on any database. Ramya told like she felt confused last concept. Okay, Ramya, towards the end of session I can repeat. You can just ask that. Okay, we will proceed now. Okay, so that I think that equivalent query concept is clear. So then we will move to what three are the steps involved in processing a query in DBMS. So basically, first the DBMS needs to find out what we try to achieve from a particular query. So that is basically the parsing and translation into the a language which the DBMS can understand. Second part is optimization, where whatever like equivalent queries we found out, the best equivalent query which will be most efficient in terms of space and time will be chosen. And the last step is the execution step or evaluation step, where the optimized query which is found from this second step will be used to evaluate and give the output to the user. So and then we will be seeing in a slide maybe like you can just listen to it. No need to like by heart it or give more importance to it. Just I will be going through some concepts. You just keep that in mind. So that will help you in writing efficient queries. Okay, so we'll just go through some more details of optimization. And then I will give some more ways in which you can find how to make queries which are equivalent and more efficient. So that things I will not be covering now. I have just given in the slides. You can go through later. So I'll just go through the basic concepts. Okay. So as we already saw in a previous slide, a relational algebra expression may have many equivalent expressions. Like if I have a select and a project. So I am projecting salary and I need to select whichever people are having salary less than 75,000. So that thing is actually equivalent to if I reverse the project and select operations. I can select salary less than 75,000 and then I project on salary. So one quick question for you. Which out of these do you think is more efficient? Option 1 or option 2? Which one is more efficient? Option 1 or based on whatever we saw just previous session. Like a number of entries that I need to process, space, time and all. Just no need to like give an explanation. Just tell me option 1 or 2. Which one do you think is like more efficient? This select followed by a project or project followed by select followed by project or the other way around. Which one? Yeah. So basically this first one will be more efficient. I will tell why. Because basically we are doing a project operation. So that will take me only one column out of the entire database. Suppose the database has 20 columns, 50 columns, 100 columns, whatever it is, it will project, take out only the salary column. And with that single column, I am trying to find out salary less than 75,000. Whereas in the second case, I am fetching all entries with the salary less than 75,000. So that suppose the table is having 1000 columns, 100 columns, 20 columns, all the columns corresponding to the salary less than 75,000 is selected. And from that I just project the people with salary greater than salary out of that I just project. So that way the first query will be more efficient than the second one in this case. And each operation can be evaluated using one of the several algorithms. And how we finally decide to go ahead with the evaluation of a query is called a evaluation plan. So we will have options like using an index on salary or perform complete scan on the database and remove the instructors with salary greater than 75,000 and then do that. So what way we finally decide to go ahead with the operation is what is called an evaluation plan. And query optimization is what it tries to achieve is amongst all the equivalent evaluation plans, choose the one with the lowest cost. That cost can be in terms of the amount of memory, that is space, or the time taken for the computation. And the cost is estimated using statistical information from the database catalog or data dictionary like number of records, size, number of data size, the number of columns, etc. So let's see an example for an evaluation plan. So suppose I am doing a like a instructor, teacher, and course. I am doing a merge join, and I want some ID. I am joining. So then like this, I will try to split up my entire execution into like individual steps. So that instructor first I will do a select on the with whichever instructors are from music department, and here I will be projecting course ID and title, and then I will be doing a join between teachers and courses. Then finally the department name teachers from music department and the course tables I will be merging, and I will be projecting the name and the title. So this is like one sample evaluation plan for some any example query like that you consider. So then like this, I can work out multiple ways in which the same query can be executed. And then once I find out all those, I will try to find out which one of these will be the one taking the minimum effort. So the cost difference actually, when we just see it will appear simple, but when the query actually, when we are running it, the difference between one way to implement and the other way maybe even seconds or even days when the database size is like runs into very large thousands or tens of thousands, lakhs, that kind of records. And the steps in query based query optimization is basically you define a set of equivalence rules. So you try to find out equivalent relations, and then you find the cost corresponding to each of these, and you choose the one with the minimum cost. And as I already told, statistical information and about tuples, intermediate results, and there are some algorithms. So all these are used to find the minimum best possible query evaluation plan. And there can be like equivalent expressions and different algorithms for each operations. So the whatever we saw here equivalence rules, I have just highlighted in the next 2-3 slides. I will not go through in that because that is like out of context to our discussion. But if interested, you can go through that. Basically, you can just read through. I have listed some 12-13 standard textbook kind of equivalence rules. So we will just see an example for this query optimization part. So we will not go into much mathematical details and all. We will just go through the examples. Like one query I am having, I will just see 2 ways in which that can be implemented, and I will try to see which one out of these will be more efficient. So let's see what the question is. Question is find the name of all instructors in the music department along with the titles of courses that they teach. So this is the example that we saw earlier. So there, as we saw, this was done there, right? This was done there, right? Instructor, a select on department name. Then course was projected based on course ID title. A join was done with the teachers. Then another join was done with the instructors from music department and the course ID taken by that teachers. Finally, the name and the title alone I want, so that were projected. So another equivalent, if you directly consider that, another way in which you can implement that is you take the course, then you merge it with the teacher, then you again do a join with the instructor, then you select based on department is equal to music, and then finally you project name and title. So both these will give the same result. But as you can see here, only at this point we are having the select operation. So till this point, like we are having many entries in our many number of records in our table will be high. So once I do a select only, my number of records will reduce. So whereas in this second case, I am actually doing the select statement here. So when I do the join here, actually the number of records are less compared to the case where I do the join here. So that is why this second one will be a more efficient way to implement the particular query. Then some second example we will see that is also similar to this. I will say similar to this instructors in music department who have taught a course in 2017. So similar to that, but I am adding an additional condition that the teacher should have taught in the year 2017. So one way similar to our first thing is that course, then I can do a join on teachers, then I do a join on instructor, then I do a select based on department name and year. Finally, I do a project. So, but as you can see, as I told earlier, when I do the select towards the last, the number of records on which I am doing the join will be very high. So it would be better I can do the join earlier in this. And I know that department name is applicable for instructor and year is applicable for teachers. So I'll first select instructors with from using department, and I will check teachers who have taught in the year 2017. Then I will join that so that at this point I will have less number of entries. And with that I will do a join. So again, in this case, the second option is more will be execute more efficiently compared to the first case. So with that two examples, I think you got some idea like what we intend to do when we are doing a query optimization. So you can just go through that equivalence rules also if interested. Like it is slightly mathematical. So if you are interested, only go through that. Otherwise, leave that.